There's a quote that says, if your peace depends on everything going right, that's not peace, that's control. And lately, I've been thinking about that a lot. Not just in life, but in filmmaking too. Because somewhere along the way, I started confusing perfection with control. Thinking every frame needed more tweaking, more adjustments, more time, as if eventually I'd arrive at a perfect image. People often ask me how I color grade my footage, and for a long time I thought the answer was simple. Time. Just spend more time on it. Keep tweaking, keep refining, keep chasing perfection. But after years of client work, documentaries, YouTube videos, and personal projects, I've realized something. Most of the time, the problem isn't lack of time, it's lack of direction. Because what is perfect grade anyway? For one project, you want something clean and natural. For another, you want texture, character, imperfection. So the goal isn't perfection. The goal is knowing what you want the image to look like. And when you're a solo filmmaker, you don't always have the luxury of endless hours. You're shooting, editing, color grading, delivering. Sometimes all in the same week. Then on top of that, I'm building my own projects, YouTube, Instagram, and lately I've been spending a lot of time experimenting with AI filmmaking, testing ideas, building stories, creating visuals that would have been impossible for me to make just a few years ago. And if I try to give every single project the same level of attention, I never move forward. I get stuck, not because the work isn't good enough, but because I'm trying to control everything. Every shot, every detail, every pixel. And that's where momentum dies. What's interesting is that realization changed my grading workflow too. Because one thing I should mention, Dehancer doesn't replace my color grading. I still do my corrections the same way I've always done them. Exposure, white balance, contrast, saturation, skin tones, building a clean foundation. That's still my job. No plugin can do that for you. Once that part is done, that's where Dehancer comes in. Usually at the end of my node tree or sometimes on a timeline level. Not to fix the image, but to shape the feeling. Adding grain, a little bloom, some halation, small things. The kind of details that don't necessarily scream at you, but you definitely feel them. The image starts to breathe differently. It feels less digital, less sterile, and more alive. And what I like about it is that it gives me a strong starting point. Not a shortcut, a starting point. Because instead of building every little characteristic from scratch, I can get close to the feeling I'm after much faster. And then spend my energy refining instead of endlessly creating from zero. And honestly, that's become even more important with AI. Because AI tools are getting incredibly good at generating images. But sometimes when you place all those images next to each other, they still feel disconnected. Like they're coming from different worlds. Different cameras, different realities. And one thing I've really started appreciating is how much consistency matters. Because once I start adding grain, a bit of halation, a bit of bloom, everything starts to feel like it belongs together. Like it's the part of the same visual language. I've actually become a huge fan of the grain. And not because it's trendy, but because it adds cohesion, texture, imperfection. Whether it's footage from my FX6, a documentary project, or something I've been experimenting with using AI, it helps bring everything a little closer together. And for someone who's constantly jumping between different types of projects, that's incredibly valuable. Because speed isn't the enemy, mindless speed is. But having a workflow that lets you make decisions confidently, that's valuable. And honestly, that's why I've enjoyed using Dehancer. Not because it magically makes footage cinematic, but because it removes friction. And when there's less friction, I spend less time doubting and more time creating. Maybe that's the lessons I've been learning lately. Not just in color grading, but in life. You don't need to control everything. You don't need to endlessly tweak every detail. You don't need certainty before you move forward. Sometimes you just build a solid foundation. Trust your taste. Trust your process, make the decision, and keep going. Because peace doesn't come from everything being perfect. It comes from knowing that even when things aren't perfect, you'll be okay. And maybe the same thing applies to filmmaking. People rarely remember the perfect color grading. They remember how something made them feel. If you're curious about Dehancer, I've put a link and a discount code in the description. But more importantly, create, move, and let the work breathe.